Jeans all skinny like I put them on a diet. Jeans all skinny like...
Hi, I haven't done one of these Overheard videos in a while, so I'm going to do another one today because I really had nothing planned. Something I get asked a lot is, how are you so skinny? And this also happens to be one of my least favorite things to hear. And what I normally, or how I normally respond to this question is a awkward smile and laugh and oh, I don't know. But this is what I should say. I'm so skinny because I made poor life choices in my past. And I continue to make poor life choices to this day. I'm getting better, but I'm not all the way recovered. I could answer by telling them, oh, because I starved my body for 15 years of my life. That's how I'm so skinny. I've damaged my internal organs to the point where some of them don't work that well anymore. And I'm reteaching my body how to do its purpose, which is function. Another way I could answer this question is by telling the person what I'm trying to do to better myself, to try and overcome my eating disorder. I could tell them that I am a vegan and my veganism is changing my body and making me healthier and helping me recover. I could tell them that I focus my diet around whole foods, about the purest form of nutrients. I could tell them that I exercise very frequently. I try to work out every single day, not to extreme levels, mind you, though. Exercise is not a way to earn my food, and that is something else I could tell them about. But I think this question is a perfect conversation starter. I think it's a good way to get a conversation beginning about eating disorders, about veganism, about ways to better yourself. Unfortunately, asking someone, how are you so skinny, is a huge triggering question, especially for someone who struggles with an eating disorder. To people who may have ever asked that question to someone, it doesn't make you a bad person because you don't know that person's backstory, or maybe you do, but for the most part you probably don't know that person's backstory, or you wouldn't have asked that question if you knew they struggled. If you're gonna ask someone about their appearance, don't ask them, how are they so skinny? Or how do they stay so thin? Or anything like that, because that is praising the wrong thing. If you can see that a person is fit and takes care of themselves, acknowledge that. Be like, oh my gosh, how do you stay so active? My life is so crazy. How do you find the time to work out? You obviously work out. And they might be like, oh, I'd love to tell you, this is how I make it work. I know I would. Ask me those questions. Don't ask me the hard questions like, how are you so skinny? I'm speaking from my own experience, and that question makes me feel very uncomfortable. It actually makes me doubt whether I'm skinny or not when I shouldn't be thinking about that, because it turns the focus around on skinniness rather than health. And that's the problem with an eating disorder, is it's all about being skinny rather than being healthy. So I know for me it's very uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, it makes my mind go places where I don't want to go. It goes down a dark path. And this is not me, pointing the finger at anybody, absolutely not. I'm just pointing out that before you ask a question like that, think about it. Think about what you're asking exactly. And for people who may have been asked this question and they're shivering in their own skin, their skin is crawling from this question because they're like, I made bad decisions and now I'm paying the price for it. For those people who have to hear this question, it's all about remembering that the person might and probably doesn't know what it is they're actually asking you. They're asking you to dive into a world that you don't want to dive into. They're asking you to open that locked door that you locked inside your head and to enter the world of your eating disorder. And you don't want to have to deal with your eating disorder every minute of every day. That's what the big struggle of recovery is separating the eating disorder from the rest of your life and recognizing that this is your life and this is the eating disorder, and you can have a life without it. You can push it to the side and just have your life. And when a person asks you this question, it's like bringing the two together again, and you're like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I need right now. This is not me telling people who ask that question and telling them that they're doing something wrong and that they're a bad person for it. Absolutely not. It's just a matter, here's the information. It's I don't want to say it's because they're ignorant, but it's because they don't know any better. They honestly don't. They don't know that they are stirring up negative feelings in the person that they're asking. So always think about what you're about to say, especially when it comes to appearances. It might just be an innocent question in your mind, but for someone, it's a switch. It's a trigger in their head. And for people who have to hear that question a lot, just remember, they don't mean any harm by it, and you don't have to bring harm to you by allowing it to be a trigger. You have a choice. You have a choice to be either negatively affected by it, or you have the choice to just let it slide. But that does not mean not acknowledging that it hurts. You're allowed to, it's okay to say, it hurts when you ask me that. If a person continuously asks that question, you can tell that person, hey, I don't like it when you ask that. And it's okay for it to have an initial reaction, a negative reaction to you, but it's when you let yourself wallow in that negative reaction, that's not okay. That's almost like saying the eating disorder, it's okay for it to win, and it's not okay for it to win. Anyway, this video was not planned in the slightest. I had no idea what I was going to be talking about today, but I thought of this because it has happened recently to me, and it has happened to me a lot in the past as well, getting asked this question, and I just wanted to address it. So I hope I got my point across. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. I hope that this gives you a little bit of knowledge into the world of watch what you say kind of stuff. Thank you for sitting through it and listening to this video and listening to me talk about this stuff. And thank you for clicking on the video as well. I'm sure you probably had other things to be doing, but you spent some time with me, which is awesome, so I appreciate it. I will see you next time, and as always, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, wherever you are, I hope you had or have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.